Now that you've got the cart built, the last step is to finish putting the axles on and then the last few pieces. So at this point, you can flip the car right over, and it's solid enough that it's gonna just stay there. The rear axle is gonna go on. You're just gonna put it on top here, line it up a little bit. You've got one screw on each end here, and then you're gonna go back and screw it in from the top on two sides there. But put your axle on, spin your wheels, make sure that it's not rubbing the wood anywhere, make sure that they spin freely. That's good. Take two of the long screws, one on each end. There's the rear axle. The front axle gets bolted on. So you need to go back into your bag of parts. And you're gonna find some type of bolt. Might be a longer bolt like this that's threaded all the way. It might be a lag bolt that's only threaded on the end. Either way, a long one, a short one. Whoops, don't lose that piece. That's gonna hold the front axle on. I'm gonna take the short one, put it in through the bottom. Oh, this is where we need the washer. Okay, your axle's gonna go on like that. In your bag, you should have still one big washer and one little washer. So the little washer is gonna go here on the bottom, and then the bolt is gonna go through the one, through the other. Now if you want to hold it together and flip it back over, now the car will sit there by itself. Put a big washer on top, and then this is called a lock nut. It's a nut and it's got a little bit of piece of plastic in it that helps keep the nut from coming off. So we're going to set that on there. Now this is one of the parts that just doesn't go on with a screwdriver. So this is where you need the pliers, and this is where you need the adjustable wrench. The adjustable wrench is going to go on the nut on top, and with the pliers you're going to hold on to the bolt on the bottom. So you're just going to hold on to that, and you're going to tighten this nut on. Okay, once you get it on a little bit, you want to check it to see, does it turn real easy, or is it real stiff? Is it too tight? So you might need to adjust how tight you put this nut on. I'm going to put it on a little bit tighter. Okay, so that's good. Now the car is almost complete at this point. We want to put two more bolts into the rear axle assembly to help hold it on a little bit better. And that's where we have the two center screws here. Because if we tried to do it to the ends, I'd already covered up the ends with those 2x4s. So we got the two holes here. Drop a screw in there. Screw in there. The back is done. A few more parts in your kit. You will find a couple of large I-rings like this. Tear the labels off. Now in the front axle, you'll see a hole drilled in each end. Hole here and hole here. That's where these I screws go. So I'm going to screw this into here. You don't have to screw it in all the way. Matter of fact, you don't want to screw it in all the way. Just give it a good several turns. And something, if you're having trouble, you can even take one of your tools and use it with a little bit of leverage, stick it through the hole to help turn it. All right, so I'm gonna put it in a few turns. That's pretty tight, that's not going anywhere. Let's do the same thing to the other side. We need to steer. We can't steer without a rope, so I need to tie a little bit of rope onto it. So I'm going to tie the rope onto each end of onto one of the eye hooks. Need that nut there. There, now you can use the rope to steer. Now there's one last piece that we need to add, and that is a brake. So you have one last piece of wood with a hole drilled in the center of it. So you're just going to put the bolt through the piece of wood, and if you line up the brake along here, if you put the hole with the bolt hole just in front of the seat a little bit, that's a good position. This is also one of those things that you'll need the adjustable wrench to put together, or to screw it in. I'm using power. I'm going to cheat. I'm going to use a socket. So position the board where you want it, position the brake there, and put it right up against the seat. You know, it should sit flat like that. It's going to line up right next to this 2x4. Just put the bolt in there. And this is much easier to do then if you flip it on its side. Now again, you don't want to make this so tight that you can't pull it, but it doesn't want to be too loose because it'll be hanging there. So you want to tighten that up a little bit more. Let's see where we are here. All right, that's still a little bit loose, but let's tighten it up by hand then. A little bit more. Okay, so now your brake will stay in place when you're running. When you need to pull it, it releases fairly easily. So, this is the completed car. See you in August!
If you had fun building the downhill dragster, wait till you see what we have for you next. They're sleek, they mean business, and they're fast. Hi, I'm Bob Sherburne, inviting you to come get involved in creating your school's very own soapbox derby racer. You will build it, design the bodies, and even get a chance to drive it in an actual race. This September, find out if your school has a team. If they do, get involved. If they don't, get one started. You'll find this very exciting.